In a world where the marks think they know better than the wrestlers and the bookers, the Fantasy Booking Institute exists to pretty much do exactly that. This is a visit from the FBI.
This is Dan the Dad, and you should listen to Raw and Order or you're grounded.
Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Booking Institute, your weekly source for pro wrestling fantasy booking. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime fighting, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
Desist is when you... No, that doesn't work. Injunction. That's what we can use. We can use an injunction.
To block the sale?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll work.
Here's the deal. There's rumors flying right now as we speak.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. Before we get into fantasy booking, we need to address the elephant in the room. The Saudi elephant. So I thought we were going to start off by talking about a certain former chief officer, excuse me, here, I'll move that a bit, chief officer of WWE announcing that she was stepping down. And then this comes along. And
I find that one also is interesting to me. And I don't want to do too much on news this time because it's not what this podcast is about. But at the end of the day, that one seems less interesting to me than it is to a lot of other people. And the reason it's less interesting to me is because she had done it already.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, there is a certain amount of wanting to be Mrs. Levesque, the mother of three children, that she has already expressed she wants to do.
That's what I was.
She wants to be Miss McMahon, the daughter of billionaire wrestling company owner.
I was pointing that out to JLB on our chat. She over a year ago had stepped away from the company entirely because she wanted to be with her family.
Yes.
I point out that they have three daughters, all under the age of 16, or I think one of them just turned 16.
Hi,
right?
Ambrosia.
Hello, Ambrosia. And that's a time that's really good for being at home with your family as much as possible. So, so that you can, help them learn to drive a car, and especially with daughters, there's a lot of changes that go on in their lives in that 12, 13 years old age.
Events going on. You've got school sports that start to ramp
sports.
up.
If they're in theater, you got plays and all that stuff. And then 16. 16. Starting at 17, you've got college visits and
travel related items.
Then at 18, moving them into college and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on at that point. Yeah. And so I don't think that it's too big of a deal. I'm actually going to shut that off for now. That she stepped away. Although, in hindsight, the timing of her suddenly stepping away a mere hour before the rumors broke of potentially... Now, I say the rumors break of it. I'm going to remind everyone, I said on our Sunday night show that I'd heard a lot of speculation that the Saudi royal family, the Saudi fund, was in talks to, or at least in the running to potentially buy WWE. The report that came out, rumor, speculation that came out, bodyslam.net is reporting it, and then everyone else ran with it, is that the Saudi fund is and has committed to buying WWE, and that it will be announced at some point shortly. Now, I am going to take the time now to point out that I do not put a lot of faith in bodyslam.net, right?
No, it's not an SEC filing. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's not an SEC filing.
Oh no,
it's not.
Is that a bad word? Because we had an early no cursing.
Did we have an early no cursing? And let's see.
So we'll just have to start at the 7-minute mark.
You are correct. 7 minutes. Okay. It's not an SEC, and it's also not, importantly, a Sean Ross Sapp or even a Dave Meltzer reporting.
Yeah, it's not a. It's neither a business report nor a wrestling report. It's a.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna be the first to
bodyslam.net
market
is
poor information.
yeah. Bodyslam.net is at least in their
Wrestling, yes.
wrestling reporting. But again, I put a
Like
lot
we
more
are.
faith in Sean Ross Sapp, in Dave Bixenspan, in Brian Alvarez, and Dave Meltzer, and so
Who's the guy that you always think is wrong? What was his name? That always reported stuff wrong.
he's gotten fired from two different things and kind of booted
You
off
have
the
more
internet.
faith in him than you do this report.
No, I don't have more faith in him, but I might have about the same faith. No, I mean the thing is, bodyslam.net is established, but they're not, again, Sean Ross Sapp. They're not, and so until I see it come from, like, Sean Ross Sapp flat out says none of his sources will confirm it. Many of his sources even say that they don't think it's happening, right? And I will point out that it's really fast if it is, because they just hired JP Morgan like on Thursday, right? And then
what is that for negotiating skills? You should be at the table a little longer than that there, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or they just made an offer that's so ridiculous that all of us would take it, including any cease and desist or injunctions that might happen from Fox and NBC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the deal. Is there's going to be pushback from lots of areas. Reports have it that if it is the Saudi family, the Saudi family plans on taking the company private, which would mean disbanding the board of directors entirely, and just basically buying out all the stock. Which, a lot of the people who bought the stock this last week, that's been their plan for the whole thing, is buy it out now, so that when they sell to whoever, we get a big chunk of
Big $10 per share return.
Yep, about 1,000 shares, I get $10. That's $10,000 that I just earned, or more, by 10,000 shares. That's $100,000 I just made, or by whatever, right? Or more, or maybe they hope to get $20 out of it, or $50 out of it,
Most buyouts, including a very bad, recently heavily publicized one, don't make you much more than $15 a share.
Mm-hmm.
Buyouts to go private. But again, Vince has complete control over that vote too, to sell to a private entity.
Yep. So
He can give 50%.
I will reiterate, though, if it does end up being true that the Saudi royal family or the Saudi fund bought it, I will be discontinuing my watching of WWE. It's just something I can't support. And so, that's going to make a weird impact in this podcast just in general. But I suppose between Impact Wrestling and AEW, and maybe I just start joining Necro Eric on watching a bunch of indies. Spend my $10 on New Japan World.
Woo!
Which still doesn't get the pay-per-views live sometimes. Honor Club, which doesn't get the pay-per-views. Anyways, we're gonna get into fantasy booking though, because that's what this show is really about. Before we do that though, I want to make sure to mention that we are sponsored. We have a sponsor for this show for the first time ever, starting this week. It started on Sunday. We're sponsored by Factor. You can see the little thing down below, or I don't know, that little thing floating above my head there. Factor, go to factor75.com and use my code Factor SE13652. That it's a weird number, randomly assigned, but that gets you 60% off your first box. And we talked about Factor on the last show. We'll talk about it more later, but it's a great way to enhance your meal times with good food that you don't have to really slave over cooking. They've got tons of options, including keto options, including high protein options. And like I said, they're all made for you. So you toss them in the microwave to heat them up, and they're really good to go for that. So we will talk more about it later. But again, if you are interested supporting the channel and enhancing your food, you can use the link. It's going to be in the doobly-doos, or you can go to gofactor75.com, use the code Factor SE13652 for 60% off your first box. But now we're going to get...
to cook anything there.
No, you don't.
And really, you don't even have to buy a specialty oven.
Nope.
That one's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving forward.
But yeah, great way to support us there. But we're going to talk fantasy booking. We're going to book some fantasies in this here podcast today. Now, I had one planned. I had a really cool one planned, and then JLB decided that he wasn't feeling good today, so he was going to take the night off. So now I've got to come up with a whole new one. So, D.A. Fabe, do you have a fantasy challenge?
Boy, off the top of my head, I don't.
Okay.
Let's open a couple cards. I'll think of one.
Well, I'm going to open up some cards, but I'm actually going to work this in to the fantasy challenge.
Oh.
I am going to open this card. These are AEW 2022, so these are all current, at least at the time of pressing AEW cards. And my challenge for you is going to be historical dream match challenge. I am going to show you one of these cards, and I want you to choose the best wrestler of a previous generation to match up with this wrestler in a match, and tell me what the match would be, if it's a specialty match or whatever, and what era you're putting it in. For instance, I'm going to use the first one here because it kind of is a gimme. First card in this pack, Paul White, the Big Show, or the Giant. The gimme for that is to have Paul White in 1980s WWE against Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the gimme with that one. But I want you to come up with your historical matchup to go with each of these wrestlers.
Okay.
First wrestler. The Perfect 10, Sean Spears.
Perfect 10, Sean Spears. I would put Perfect 10, Sean Spears in the Impact Young Bloods. New Blood? Is that what it was? New Blood? Is that what they were called? Impact Originals?
Might have been. Give me a second. New Blood was WW or WCW.
They were called. Anyway, I can't remember what their name was. Wrestling teams and stables. Was it TNA Originals, maybe? TNA Frontline. Yeah, TNA Frontline, TNA Originals. They feuded with the Main Event Mafia. Yeah, I would have them join the TNA Frontline, i.e. TNA Originals.
Okay. Any sort of stipulations on the match or anything?
Nah, I have him join that organization, and his feud is going to be directly with Booker T. No, it was that we weren't making any noise. That's why the audio was a bit quiet.
Well, I do think I don't know about if mine's quiet, but yours seems a little quiet to me.
Better. I can turn it up more.
I turned up mine just a hair. Does that sound a little bit better to you guys out there?
Little feedback from the audience, please. Better. All right, there we go. So I had to go up to half.
Welcome, Necro. Had you heard the rumor WWE news?
Odie.
Okay. While waiting for his answer, number 2, Scorpio Sky.
Him and Kaz make they join together again as the SoCal Uncensored SCU, and they take on they're in the TLC 2 match. There's 4 teams in TLC 2 instead of 3. Because that also leaves room for somebody I don't care to see, but will probably be there because all the side people came out. So Christopher Daniels can come out too.
Interesting. I would have gone with feud with Too Cold Scorpio. That's me. Next one, Private Party.
Feud with MSK Impact. I know. Like, this is something that could still happen. Just MSK back together as a feud with Private Party. There's flip-de-doos, there's whoop-de-whoops, there's all sorts of craziness. Very, very fast match.
And so you're saying MSK as they were in NXT, or when they were the Rascals in Impact?
The Rascals in Impact.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's where my confusion was. I am going to show 2 cards here that are not in this challenge, mostly because I don't know if you've got a good landing spot for Ryu Mizunami, just because you might not.
Not one that wouldn't sound racist as all get out.
And Tony Schiavone was there for a lot of it already, so
Ooh, but I would have him feud with Bobby the Brain Heenan on mic every single night. Oh wait,
he already did that.
wait, that happened.
So, main feature John Moxley.
Ooh. Like there's 2 names that pop into your head immediately, right? There's Stone Cold immediately, and there's Sandman immediately. Here's the deal: because Moxley's the mandate, Sandman is the obvious choice, because then you can have him in ECW. You can have the matches that Moxley wants, that Moxley does. So that's why I'm choosing. It's not because I wouldn't enjoy a Stone Cold Moxley feud, but Sandman's the right person, so that you can have the right matches, the matches that both of them love.
Okay. And the final one from that pack.
Jungle Boy Gold main feature. Boy, their Photoshop on that was not very good.
Well, they specifically gave him a glow around it. That's a creative choice, not a Photoshop choice, I think.
Yeah, you're right, Necro. However, Austin didn't spend a whole lot of. He went to ECW. That said, he wasn't known as a death match brawler. So that's part of the reason why. So yeah, Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is a mentee to HBK in DX and turns on DX in a face fashion, walks out on him. And so Jungle Boy's in DX, he leaves DX, and X-Pac is his feud. But through the tiers, I guess, is his feud. So he starts with X-Pac, moves on to Road Dogg, moves on to Billy Gunn, moves on to Triple H, HBK, works his way through the roster.
Okay. Do a couple from the second pack here.
Okay.
Nyla Rose.
Is there anybody that pops in your head stronger than Bull Nakano here? That's big women meat slapping big women meat, man. That is just.
I don't know. A match with the ninth
China?
wonder of the world, China.
Or just watching Nyla Rose destroy Nicole Bass.
Have her go back and take on.
I feel like Bull Nakano. I have more love for Bull Nakano than I do for China, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people give me heat for that. Bull Nakano was very entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know.
That might have been the strongest part of that roster way back when too.
Have her going back and taking on Medeja in WCW.
Medeja or Medusa?
Medeja, which was the one who started off as one of what was it? Scott Steiner's Freaks. Now I gotta look her up again.
All right, I just had to reread Necro there. Bull Nakano and 3 dozen other Joshi women from that era are just the shit. I thought he said just shit. And I was like, whoa, bud, no, they're fantastic. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Bull Nakano got saddled with the group that she did and ended up being next to Bertha Faye, and that heel work was very, very good on her behalf. She was one of the best early 90s female heels. I can't say early heels because there are good heels in the 80s in women's wrestling.
I can't remember how she even spelled her name. Medeja.
Is this the one that ended up being a bodyguard for like maybe Macho Man?
It might have been. I'm trying to. Let's just try. Let's see if I can find it this way.
Yes, it was. That era was definitely loaded. There's a reason Bull Nakano was.
Melinda Medeja Flores was a personal trainer, fitness model, former professional wrestling manager, known by her ring name Medeja, known for appearance in WCW from '99 through 2001.
Scott Steiner, then.
Yeah. She was a
I couldn't
PowerPoint.
remember if it was Macho or Scott that she was with.
She started off as part of a fitness group of models known as the NWO Girls, and then she became a valet to Scott Steiner, who called her one of her freaks. Anyways, moving on. Malachi Black.
Oh. He's the right guy to have actually played Mordecai instead of Kevin Thorne. Mordecai ended up being a shit gimmick, and I think he could have done something with it.
That right there. Men ruin everything.
It's legit.
It's a perfect example
I
of
have him in the cruiserweight feud. That group of cruiserweights. Like there's temptation to put him in the ministry. He's not. He feuds with the ministry. You know, there's temptation to put him in the flock. He's not. Like, he's nobody's second man.
I think I'm going to go in on this one and say a feud with Steve Blackman or Ken Shamrock
I like that. Yeah, that's
would
great.
have been pretty epic for.
Or I think the personality fits better if he feuds with Dan Severn.
That also
But
works.
Shamrock's in that same category. I guess all three of them are. They're very structured and vicious. He could have been the fourth guy in trying to make the more MMA style WWE. I would have loved to seen him just spinning heel kick. We're more than 10 minutes. Spinning heel kick the fuck out of Tank Abbott. Just flunk. Hate Tank Abbott. Anyway.
Yeah. I would have loved to have seen a back and forth with him with the spinning heel kick and Ken Shamrock with the heel lock.
Him trying to grab the angle as it's coming by and
So
or getting hit with it.
Yep. Wardlow.
For a second there, I apologize to Wardlow for this right now in advance. I thought you had a Ryback. I was like, that's not an AEW card.
Apparently Ryback owns the trademark now, so he can come back anytime he wants.
That's WWE can't. I'm sure they won't play nice with him anymore. Wardlow. Instead of Sid as the replacement bodyguard for HBK, I have Wardlow as the replacement bodyguard for HBK. And the storylines are relatively similar. Just Sid's weird. Oh shit. everything Sammy Guevara's done. Everything Ray did, everything anybody. He's everything that a lucha style wrestler has ever done on a major scale, better. So I mean, you can have him replace Ray and everything. You can have him replace Jeff Hardy. I mean, we see giants do swanton bombs now. Good job, Jeff. We see big dudes do swantons now. Can I just leave them where they are? This is the best era in tag team wrestling, and they're one of the top 5 teams in tag team wrestling.
In America. Yeah.
Well, okay, in America. It would be an insult to move them historically to another era. Barring, I think their storytelling is too good for the TLC 2 match, but barring doing exactly what I did with SCU earlier, you know, like the Dudleys can't tell the stories that those guys tell with FTR and all those other guys. So. Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, I can see her. I can see what she's wearing. I just can't quite remember her name. It's a nice foil.
The Women's Revolution era, feuding with Charlotte. Have her in Charlotte before Charlotte gets big. Before Vince thinks Charlotte's big.
Good enough. And then I had 2 other cards in it, but it's a Justin Roberts and another Arn Anderson. And
thanks for the follow, Gabito Sorrow. Gabito, we're gonna call you Gabito. Sorry.
Well,
Justin Roberts and who?
Arn Anderson.
Arn today, though, yeah. He was Arn back in the day.
But if you've come up with your challenge, we can move on to yours.
Yeah. Unless you want to pull up another deck of cards.
Well, I did open another deck, but we don't have to go through them.
So, there's going to be a tier ranking. This is every Royal Rumble winner in history since Royal Rumble's coming up. So, the poop bin, just about bearable, alright, lovely, 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 and the best are the categories here. You've got Stone Cold Steve Austin for the first 2.
Okay, so the question I have is, what is our criteria for ranking these? Does overall impact matter, or are we talking more about just
impact of the Royal Rumble win?
Of the Royal Rumble. So for instance, you know, the Royal Rumble win for Stone Cold, none of the 3 times that he's won it?
Correct.
Didn't really have a long-term thing. His King of the Ring victory is what had the greater impact. So,
well, one of them made it so that he could win the title again.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't change his career. It didn't change the criteria of. It didn't change his overall.
It is weighted more towards the WrestleMania event.
Okay. My point being, like, to use Hacksaw Jim Duggan as an example, he won the first one, which historically very, very important, right?
Yes.
But from the grand scheme of things, Hacksaw Jim Duggan didn't do much to really shake up the industry.
Do anything at WrestleMania with it because there was no WrestleMania.
Yeah. But my point is, he didn't shake up the industry with it. He didn't go on to main event. He didn't go on to be a multi-time, tag champion. And so we're just using the
No, not just. It's weighted more heavily towards the WrestleMania.
yeah,
Because that's
again, I guess what I'm meaning is we're not using like, oh, here's Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was one of the
GM forever.
considered one of the legends of all time.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to this
Because his
ranking.
Royal Rumble wins
We're
weren't.
just worrying about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Now, there are some that the Royal Rumble made them and made their career on this list. So, anyway, we'll start off with the first Stone Cold. This would be 1996, I believe. And when he took on HBK at WrestleMania. $1997 would have been, sorry.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Okay. Stone Cold 1998, the next year.
All
As
right.
impactful? Yeah, I think it was less impactful. Correct. Vince McMahon.
Just about bearable.
Because the story was told through it? Is that the
Yeah.
reason it gets above getting the bin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This would be 99, I believe. Does he only have one? Looks like he only has one. I thought he had two. Sometimes these tier lists, though, aren't accurate entirely.
I mean, they're created by humans, so I'm gonna put that in the lovely, lovely, lovely.
Okay, that's fair. Stone Cold 2001.
Probably
That is all it is.
still in the all right, I think.
Didn't that make X7? He was fired. That's the one where he was fired and couldn't come back. Couldn't ever fight for the title again. Still won it in all right. All right, we'll leave it. Trips. And this is the Trips, not where he beat, not where he won the title. This is back in this era.
All right.
Brock Lesnar. This is the 2000 maybe? 2002? 2002 probably. That's right, because he hasn't won it any other time.
He won it 2003 and then 22.
Oh, so they don't have his 2022 on here.
It could be that was created in 21 or
Yeah, could be.
prior. He went on to win against Kurt Angle.
Yep.
So yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely.
This is a big one for me. I love this one. Chris Benoit. From
Yeah.
the number 2 spot. Wins the title.
That's where that one gets a bigger edge for me, is because he lasted basically the distance and won the title.
Changed his career forever. I would be astonished if this is any lower than all right.
Oh, it's definitely at least lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm just trying to decide whether it goes up to the best. It's so tough not to consider what came after
It
pretty
is.
heavily on it.
And if you want to put it at lovely, 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 that's fine.
We'll keep it at lovely, lovely, lovely just because of that.
Okay. This is Batista when he gave the thumbs down to Trips that he was going to come after the SmackDown title. 2005, I believe, is the year for this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, to me that's just all right. I was never a huge Batista fan, so.
Rey Mysterio. Also from the number 2 spot. I don't remember if he won the title. If he did, it was for moments, unless it was the WWE Championship.
He won it.
Unless it was the World Championship, unless it was the big gold belt.
It was the World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
Ended up with the triple threat between Kurt Angle, Orton, and him.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not as big on Ray as some are, so for me that's just all right.
Okay. Hacksaw.
See,
Oh. All right.
this is where the criteria come into it, because in the grand scheme of things, like you said, there was no WrestleMania that year, but this was the first ever Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And at the time, Hacksaw was
A contender.
was well liked and appreciated. So I think it goes higher just because of that. Yeah, let's do all right.
The fact that there's only 5 categories deserve this tier ranker.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker. If I recall correctly, he faced Batista and won the championship.
He sure did. Kept his streak alive. But you know how I feel about Undertaker. Put it right in the middle, all right.
John Cena. This is the first Royal Rumble win. This might be 2004 when they knew that Brock was not their ticket.
John Cena's first win was 2008.
2008 then would be what it is.
Because 2004 was Chris Benoit.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
2008. This is where he decided to instead use it at No Way Out instead of WrestleMania. That puts it down in just about bearable.
Fair enough.
Because
this particular Randy Orton looks like it's a younger Randy Orton, which would also mean that it's when he beat Chris Benoit. No, he didn't do that. Yes, he did. That was from Royal Rumble, right? No, it wasn't when he beat Benoit for the title the first time.
yeah, Randy Orton's first Royal Rumble was 2009, right after the John Cena, so that would make sense there. And it's when he chose to challenge Triple H, but lost. So,
Okay.
yeah, just about bearable. That's a good spot for it.
Edge. This was not the career maker for Edge. The career maker for Edge was Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. So this has got to be 2010 when he lost to Chris Jericho. I don't know. That match still makes it. That puts it in all right.
Can I just put this down here for you, Alberto Del Rio?
Yes.
Sheamus. This is, I believe, the win over Triple H.
This is should be the win over Daniel Bryan.
This is Daniel Bryan. You are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H was a different number 1 contender.
And because of that, that's going to go up in lovely, lovely.
Isn't that the 9-second brogue kick?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
I'll leave it there. It elevated. Here's my argument here: is it elevated Sheamus at the time?
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, and so it
And
had a
they
bigger
needed to-
impact on his career.
There's been a lot of times since 2005, 2006 that they've needed to elevate more people. Speaking of people that didn't need elevated, was John Cena on his second.
2013 went on to defend it against CM Punk, and then defeated The Rock at WrestleMania to win. I'm going to put it in lovely, lovely, if only because he defended it one time.
Okay.
I know he wasn't the first to do it, but I like the idea of someone defending.
So this one was the first ever fan-directed WrestleMania match. And so that makes it a little harder. This is 2014 Batista. It ended up being Daniel Bryan, Batista, and I believe Triple H. Either Triple H or
Here. Triple H agreed to face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, with the stipulation whoever won would be inserted into the match between Randy Orton and Batista.
okay, it's Orton and Batista.
Triple H lost to Daniel Bryan,
Daniel Bryan was in.
and Daniel Bryan was in.
This is the one they should have booked Daniel Bryan to win. Let me replace that. This is the one they should not have booked Batista to win. The other one, Batista won. It was fine that they booked him there.
Well, give me a second here, because I got to check something.
I'll bring him back down.
Yeah, because Daniel Bryan won the championship,
Yes.
and
Side note: this John Cena here that you have in Just About Bearable, that was the tie finish, and Vince sent him back into the ring. That's when Vince tore his quads.
meh.
It's great to know that Vince tore his quads, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that Batista one in the all right.
I will admit that I would have had that higher because of the circumstances of the fans taking over. That's the only reason I would have. Roman Reigns. Looks like he's only got one.
Yeah.
And this is where he maybe beat Trips. Is that right?
Reigns had a match against Brock. Oh, this is the Money in the Bank cash-in by Brock. Or by Seth, excuse me.
Okay. Yeah. That was a hell of a fucking match. That was a hell of a fucking build and everything.
You know, I'm gonna say I think this goes up in the best, if only because the WrestleMania payoff match then had that cash in, and it's going to be remembered as one of the best WrestleMania moments.
Yeah.
And it would not have happened if not for that. So
This is the Triple H screw job. They stripped Roman of the title, or made Roman defend his title in Royal Rumble. He went in at number 1 and was eliminated last by Triple H, who went in at number 30, 29 or 30. This is Roman's screw job. This is their effort to put Roman over. They screwed Roman with Triple H.
and then it didn't end up having a match at WrestleMania based off it.
Nope, they stole. That's how they got the title.
Put it lovely.
Is this Big John Studd? Is that who I'm looking at here?
I think so.
Maybe
He was the winner of the second.
Okay, so this would be 89?
Yes,
90,
correct.
89?
And he was one of the lucky number 27s.
I don't know how big a fan of Stud you were. Boy, his
Really,
career didn't do much after this. It was just,
really
hey, big
wasn't.
guys are
Put him
hard
in
to
the
get out of
bottom.
the ring. Get out and get in the bin. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Orton number 2. This is older Orton. This is 2016, maybe 17.
17. They didn't do one in 16. That was the screw job, Triple H screw job.
Okay.
So 17. And this was when he was in the Wyatt family.
Oh, that's right.
Lovely.
I
It
would
featured
have to
some
agree.
good storytelling with the whole concept of the Wyatt family, him relinquishing his shot to Bray, and then winning a new number one contender shot, and then defeating Bray Wyatt. Good storylines come out of it. So
All right. Here is Nutshot Nakamura.
yeah,
This story was told horribly. This is Vince at his worst booking. But the match, I remember distinctly in 2019, our level of anticipation for this was through the roof because of how good he is and how good AJ is. But it had to be fucking nut shots.
yep.
So I think that takes it out of the best category. Not to give my opinion over yours, but
I think, unfortunately, I agree here with Necro Eric on it. It goes in the bin. It had so much potential, but it lived up to none of it. And Nakamura's career has never recovered from it.
died with the nut shots, and literally that's the reason that whole story died. Nothing but nut shots. It was a year's worth of just fucking. Hey AJ, get yourself a cup, bud.
Yeah.
So we'll do the 2 women's ones on here. Ronda and Brock would be the other 2 that we don't have on here. So, Asuka, the very first women's winner.
I mean, that's got to be up there at
Story
least in Lovely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they just fucking booked it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If she wins, that's in the best category.
Yeah.
You want it there?
Yeah, Lovely.
The man, Becky Lynch. This is hard not to put really high here. Choice.
The only thing that keeps it from being in the best in my mind is because that's the one that ended up with the triple threat versus Rousey and Flair at WrestleMania. And that
Fuck, I like that match.
it needed to be a singles match,
Yeah, I agree.
and that's what holds it back. So that's where I'll put it in Lovely.
Not at the hands of Becky, though. Holy shit. Seth winning Rumble. Not Money in the Bank. Rumble.
Went off to beat Brock Lesnar. Where did he enter in that one?
Is that number 2,
Number
I think?
10.
10.
Number 10. Give me 1 second again.
These ones get really fun towards the end here.
Um, Seth goes to Lovely.
Seth the lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm gonna move him. I'm gonna move Oscar so that Seth and Becky can be next to each other because they're in love. On lovely, lovely, lovely. Huh? That was lame. Hulkamania, brother. Sorry. Hulk Hogan.
And it appears they only have one Hulk Hogan.
There are two Hulk Hogans.
Are there two Hulk Hogans?
Yep. But they're very. This is the young.
Oh, yeah, there's the other one. Okay. Because he won back to back, right? He won in 90 and 91.
Okay.
So,
I think this is 90.
yeah.
And then he used it to screw himself into other stuff. Sorry, I'll let it go.
Just about bearable. In fact, I'm going to put
91?
both of them there.
Okay. Ric Flair winning the World Championship.
Entering at number 3.
Entering at number 3.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
I am surprised. I thought that would be under the best.
It might have been.
Now,
But
in the same category as Big John Studd, this man won it and was legitimately impossible to get out of the ring, it seemed.
also number 27. Help setting up that legendary thing. Put it in lovely. I don't know.
He had a great title reign. And these two men tied getting it for the opportunity to face this man, and then had a coin toss, and Lex Luger had to face him first. Lex Luger being one of the few men who'd actually beat him via countout at that point, and Bret Hart being the one who beat him for the title. The main story was, how do you put those big legs into the sharpshooter?
And inversely, how do you put those big legs up in a torture rack?
Yeah,
I think...
that big person into a torture rack, yes.
Yeah, I think... that might be in the best.
That was a really
It's a great storyline.
storytelling. Yes, I'm not a huge Lex Luger fan, but the best storytelling of all is probably these two, in my opinion. This is the reason I am a. This guy is my favorite wrestler, so I'm not going to give my opinion here. This is 1995 Royal Rumble. The last 2 men in the ring are HBK and British Bulldog. British Bulldog thinks he has knocked HBK out of the ring. And this is where that technicality of both feet must touch the floor comes into play. And HBK touches the floor with one foot and does the cat flip back into the ring, pulling down the ropes for British Bulldog to go running over the top when he's trying to do a clothesline. HBK wins the title.
You're gonna be angry when I say that one, even though it has that iconic moment, ends in lovely, lovely, lovely.
Okay.
The other one ends in the best, though.
Well, and here's probably, I can even tell you why that is. Because that one ends with HBK beating Diesel, if I remember correctly, the backflip. And the second one ends with him beating Bret Hart.
In the 60-minute Iron Man match, which is my favorite match of all time.
In fact, we can probably just roll this Royal Rumble up to the top dog of all time. That right there is the reason I would tell people consistently 1996 WWE was not that bad. 1995 wasn't either, because 1996 wouldn't have existed without 95 being the way it was. Now I understand. After having looked through this, I actually understand why so many people call the Royal Rumble the very best pay-per-view of the year for WWE. I look at this and I really only see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 times where I didn't enjoy that pay per view, and a lot of them were early. Shinsuke is one of them, though, unfortunately. So I'm gonna stop sharing that.
And I'm back on screen.
You are back on screen. Hey, but we just talked about Yokozuna winning the Royal Rumble, and his busy travel schedule had him eating a lot of junk food at fast food restaurants instead of having food that is healthy for him, readily available. What could he have done to get around that?
Well, he could have signed up for Factor.
I mean, not in 1993, but
No,
today,
he would have had a hard time with that.
yes.
But now you can sign up for Factor.
And you can be 2%, 2% Lex Luger because of your healthy eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
Shipped weekly, guys. That's probably one of the bigger things that I love about this. I actually, at one point in my life, had been on Nutrisystem. The unfortunate part to when you're on a monthly shipping program like that, you really don't get that great of food because it has to be filled with preservatives, which are also already terrible for you. But on top of that, it's just the quality of food is not that good when you're talking about something that has to last a month. And so you get this shelf life food that's meh, okay, or worse. Or you're tearing up a whole bunch of freezer space. This comes weekly so that it can be fresh in your fridge the entire week. I find that just mind-boggling and fantastic. Looks like if they did this and they chose the 8-meal plan, it'd be $39 for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
$39 for 8 meals delivered straight to your door, ready to cook and eat. And I say ready to cook, all you got to do is heat. You don't have to mix ingredients. You don't have to do all of that stuff. They fit
No
any
special
lifestyle.
stoves or anything?
Nope. They fit any lifestyle at all. And
Don't miss out on your chance to sign up through our program. Mm-hmm. 60% off.
they've got chef's choice. They've got keto options if you're a keto eater. DA Fabe likes to do keto. If you don't want to do keto, but you want to watch your calories, Calorie Smart's a great option. You vegan? You vegetarian or
Are you
vegan?
a vegan?
Are you a vegan? Are you a vegan or a vegetarian? Right? They got you covered there. Like I said before, trying to bulk up, trying to get a little bit more protein in your diet, right? They got the Protein Plus option for you there. They've got choices for whatever you want. And you can mix and match too, right? Choose your preferences, what you want, you know. I'm not going to do keto, so we do chef's choice. I might even do the Protein Plus there.
Well, or if you're not a keto person, but you definitely don't, you do watch your carbs, you can do Protein Plus and keto.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure that you do include those keto meals.
Then you go select your plan. You either create an account through an email, or you get started with Facebook, Google, Apple, whatever you want to. You click that. You get signed in. You choose the ones you want. I'm going to actually do this here really quickly. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to bring up the weekly menu because I showed this last time. But look at this menu that they have here to choose from. They've got keto options, jalapeno lime cheddar chicken, ground beef and thyme cottage pie, Tuscan tomato chicken, right? You don't want keto? Scroll down a little bit. Here's some that are Protein Plus. Here's some that are Calorie Smart and Protein Plus. Roasted garlic chicken with sour cream and onion mashed potatoes. Looks like that's also asparagus there.
I feel like that's a Smart special right there.
That is right up my alley there. Chicken and mushroom marsala with garlic mashed cauliflower and haricots verts. It's a fun French thing. You don't want the Calorie Smart. You want something a little bit, full thing. Here, Protein Plus. Cheesy chicken and broccoli casserole with brown jasmine rice. Right? Shredded beef and bacon cowboy skillet with garlic broccoli and roasted red peppers.
How is that not keto? There must be potatoes in it.
Most likely. Grilled chicken and brown butter yams. roasted green beans, mushrooms, and leek butter there, right? Scrolling down a little bit more. Oh, here's some vegan options: tomato and roasted vegetable risotto. I'm getting so excited, and my mouth is watering just thinking about all these options here. Look, they added this one here: Gourmet Plus cheesesteak filet mignon, roasted zucchini, yellow squash, and leek butter there.
I want to point out that is the Fabe special. Notice it does have that yellow keto
Yeah.
next to it.
Or the grilled steakhouse filet mignon with Parmesan, cream spinach, broccolini, and Asiago butter.
Also, one that was ordered in my box.
So you click the boxes you want, you click the food that you want, and then it just arrives on your doorstep. Easy peasy. And then these all are prepackaged, just heat and eat. They can go in a lunchbox. They can go to work with you.
And they change on the regular. Don't worry about having to eat the same food over and over and over again.
Here.
You might find the ones you love, and they'll still be there, but you'll get another one that's not.
That's the meal plan for January 14th through the 20th. The following week, look at the different options here. Chipotle rubbed pork chops.
Oh, bacon, chicken, Alfredo, and broccoli. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Roasted garlic braised beef.
I'm going to have to be like Necro here and just go get one of my meals, except they're not here yet. They come on Mondays.
Barbecue pork sloppy joe with chipotle sweet potato mash and roasted green beans.
Oh, there's one that makes me really jealous that it's not keto, and that's that protein pressed Caribbean style chicken breast. Oh.
Plantain mash. Plantains. Can't find that in no freezer special at Walmart. Herb and cream cheese salmon with red pepper cauliflower grit, roasted broccoli. Is keto and protein.
Ooh, salmon, yum. Yum, 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 yum.
Chimichurri filet mignon with herby potatoes, zucchini, and roasted peppers.
I want to emphasize, look at some of these vegetarian options. They even look good.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be mean to vegetarians. Props to you if you can handle that lifestyle. I can't. I'm weak. But my gosh, that vegetarian green chili and tostada. Oh,
These all look great. These
we
look
don't
so
know what
good.
The vegetarian runs us, so I don't blame anybody for getting some of these meals.
Like I say, they end up right there. You can take them to work. They fit whatever lifestyle you have. If you have a lunchbox, all you have to do is have a microwave to heat it up. If you're just need a fast meal at home, you got kids and you can't spend all the time over a stove, right? You can just have them there, heat them up, you're good to go. Super simple, easy to do. Fit whatever lifestyle you have to worry about there. Cause just make them, right? Right? So convenient.
I'm so excited to order for next week. Chorizo, chili, and scallion sour cream.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
Right?
sounds
They
so
fit whatever
good.
lifestyle you have. There's no mess, no worry about cleaning up a bunch of pot and pans afterwards because they're pre-prepared, ready to eat, 2 minutes or less. Faster even than ordering some Grubhub.
Yeah, way faster than Grubhub.
You know? Faster than Jimmy John's, and Jimmy John's is freaky fast.
Whew.
They also, get this, you can add on keto shakes or smoothies.
You gonna put that on the screen?
I don't know if they usually put them up here. Let's see if I can find them. I think they show up in add-ons after you go to order.
They most certainly do. I know from experience.
Here we go, add-ons. Oh, I think it opened in a new window.
Wah, wah, wah.
Go.
My mouth is watering so much I gotta take a drink. Holy cow. That just looks fantastic. Just
Yes. certain times of the year. They have things like Surf and Turf Holiday Feast for two. They got keto shakes, keto smoothies.
The breakfast, just guys. If you wanted to add a little something to it, hop on those breakfasts.
Snacks inside. Oven roasted mahi mahi snack. Keto cheesecake strawberry mascarpone. Keto cookies.
I'm not gonna get on board with those until I eat them. I can tell you right now. Of course, I'm never on board with anything until I try it.
Cinnamon roll fat bombs.
I wonder what that frosting is.
I'm gonna guess frosting.
You're grounded. I'm hoping it's a cream cheese frosting. Fun.
And like I say, it's so easy, right? You go use my link. It's going to be in the doobly doos. It's on the social media. It's wherever. Or you just go to gofactor75.com. Use the code FACTOR SE13652. I didn't get to choose it for 60% off your first box. Once again, gofactor75.com and use code FACTOR SE13652 for 60% off your first box of Factor meals.
It's exciting.
It's so
Those
exciting.
tears twice.
So, opened a couple packs while we were doing your challenge.
Shall we fill in your challenge some more?
Yeah, might as well. We can keep playing it a bit. Penelope Ford.
I'm not the Penelope Ford fan that you are. To me, she's a better version of Miro's wife, of C.J. Perry. I'm gonna put her. I'm gonna put her in the Divas era, and I'm gonna have her feud with Ivory and get her ass handed to her.
I think a feud with Molly Holly would have been phenomenal.
And she would have gotten her ass handed to her.
Probably, but that's fine. Can't all be winners.
Give me any era, anytime. The Mike feuds, I want him on the mic against HBK. I want him on the mic against Trips. I want him on the mic against Eric Bischoff. I want him on the mic against anybody, anytime. I want him on the mic against Flair. I want him on the mic against Early Sting. I want it all. I want it all.
I want it all.
I want to see a battle for the dirtiest player in the game with the dirtiest player in the game. Ty Conti. Oh, did you see that link I sent you today? The link tree for her?
Yeah?
That's all. I have nothing else to say. Ty Conti, Women's Revolution. I mean, if I had to change eras, I'm only going to go back a few years because she could definitely be a part of that. She also could have been a diva easily. Who we have? Angelico. Doesn't matter. I'm not a big fan of Angelico.
I'm a big fan of him, except the fact that he's been so poorly. I don't want to say poorly used. I think he's had a hard time connecting with the fans, and so he's kind of poorly utilized. This Spanish Announce project could be an interesting change for him, so I'm looking forward to it. But
Riho. Really any era and what she excels at, and that's Joshi Wrestling. Joshi Pro. I don't know if she's made for the American market. Her style. So, stardom. Stardom today to stardom 15 years ago to, yeah. Christian Cage. I think the obvious answer here is Impact 2007 with the Christian Coalition and everything he did. Just leave it.
No, no, I'm gonna enforce a rule here. You have to put him in a new era, which is tough for him because he's been around for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the dude gets shit on any earlier than he existed. WWWF Wrestling. Jim Crockett Productions. I'm going to put him in Jim Crockett Productions. His promo skills are good enough for Jim Crockett.
I think having him in a feud, in not just a feud, but in the match that they did that took place on the trailer of a semi rolling down the road.
In WCW, when it was
In WCW,
Gold Dust. Who was that? It was Gold Dust.
It was Dustin.
Dustin and
Yep.
Was it Roddy? No.
No, it was someone kind of exclusive to that era.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it's maybe Tully. Semi-trailer match.
King of the Road was against Blacktop Bully.
Blacktop Bully. WCW King of the Road match. No,
Okay.
I don't want to do that to him, but okay.
You've already done this one, but I just want to show I got myself a gold Hikaru Shida main features. This one's going to be fun because I know you're going to try to find the worst place possible to put.
Jay Lethal. No, I mean, really, I enjoyed Jay Lethal as Black Machismo. That said, I can't do that. So I suppose on the WCW Cruiserweight card, and just have him fucking buried under all that talent.
This one's almost not really fair because he didn't really get to show off in AEW much before he left.
Put him in the ministry and have him do whatever Undertaker says. Sorry. Varsity Blondes. We don't know where they're at yet entirely. But since I have to change where they're located, they can't be in AEW today, I want to put them in the second highest or second best American WWE or American tag team model and put them in WWE circa 2001 to 2005, and have him feud with the other mid-carders. Boy, again, because I have to move them, this is a really good tag team. I'd love to see a feud with the Dudley Boys.
I was going to say it'd be nice to see a New Age Outlaw feud there.
That would also be a good. Well, and that's better. That's better mic work, but I think the Dudleys gives a better balance, I guess, for in-ring work. Kyle O'Reilly, NXT 2019. Feuding with Adam Cole. No,
No, but you could put him in NXT 2017 because he wasn't there.
Okay. NXT 2017 feuding with Andrade, looking for friends, and then he finds some friends in the Undisputed Era.
You've already done him by inserting him in with Scorpio Sky. And you've already done them, but I wanted to point out that I got a green prismatic.
Not a prismatic. It would have to be Prism, would have to be the brand.
Prismatic is actually a phrase to describe anything holographic because it works prismatically. But that's beside the point. I got 4 more packs to open. And these shows without JLB, with just 2 of us, always struggle a bit.
I guess the wrestler might be between me and Necro Eric. If he wants to play along.
So we got Powerhouse Hobbs. We don't have to keep playing the game
No.
or the challenge. We've
A lot
got
of eras that dude goes well.
Andrade.
Best days are yet to come for him. I really feel like, but man, I bet he's not. I bet he's happier now that he's part of under AEW contract than he was a little while ago.
Yeah, he may have been a little bit happier. He tweeted out, I think the serendipity of it. He tweeted out earlier today just a picture of him. It was actually just his mask being put in a bag, the black skull mask that he wore in AEW, and it just said goodbye. Like he's writing off that character and everything, and so he's hinting that he's done with AEW, which he might be, whatever. But I kind of wonder if he's not going, well, shit. Bryan Danielson.
WWE 2014. No?
He could feud with a guy named Daniel Bryan there.
ROH 2007.
Thunder Rosa. Daniel Garcia.
I would be interested to see where you'd put him.
It's tough. I think he would fit in really good with the Radicals. You know what I mean? Work rate sort of guy. Right there next to Perry Saturn.
So you're going to make him be Moppy. Oh, wait, no, that was after the Radicals. Sorry.
Main event, Chris Jericho.
How do you put him anywhere?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Okay, let his career start another 5 years earlier, and he's in no, you don't want him in WCW before he was. So I suppose WWE, but he's getting fucking buried in 91.
Yeah. A gold. Although if I were him, I'd be angry at them choosing this particular photo, John Silver.
Yeah, that's not a great Johnny Hungy picture.
Makes him look chubby.
Oh, he's hungy.
And a upper deck canvas, Sammy Guevara.
Mixed tags, S.A. Rios and Lita versus Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti.
I'll allow it.
S.A. Rios would get owned by Sammy Guevara. And Ty Conti would learn a little something from Lita. Remember when the Lita Salt was innovative move for women? And now you see
I do.
Salts left and right.
Well, it's kind of like the Swanton.
Yeah, that we talked about earlier. Yeah. Remember when they banned pile drivers, and now people do Canadian destroyers? Where would you put him?
That's a tough thing. It's tough to really judge. I like Hook. I think he's got a good gimmick.
He's a small Dean Malenko. He's a small Chris Benoit with his intensity and his attack styles.
Yeah, but it's also important to note that we've got less than a dozen matches, to pull from for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
And that makes it really tough. Evil Uno. Alex Reynolds to go next to Johnny Hungy. Commentator card for Taz. Ray Phoenix. A standard main features Ty Conti. And I think this is a duplicate for me, but a gold Max Caster.
Max Caster by himself. I haven't had rap battles with Cena and just blow Cena out of the water.
I'm going to be a little frustrated. I don't think I'm going to get a piece of matte in any of these.
It'll be okay, bud.
I don't know if it will.
Breathe.
And I don't know, man. I think this is going to have a lot of duplicates in this one. I got a Cash Wheeler, which I know is a dupe. I have a CM Punk, which I know is a dupe. I have a Bunny,
From 2007, by the way. Bunny.
which I know is a dupe. I have a Jurassic Express,
Which is a duplicate.
which I know is a dupe. I have a Ruby Soho, which I'm pretty sure is a dupe. I have a blue main features Adam Cole, which might be a dupe. I have a gold Matt Sydal, which I actually think is a dupe.
10 new subscribers, though. They can get some of these cards.
Mm-hmm.
10 new
Yeah, I was going to repeat that. If we can get 10 new subscribers to the
So
channel.
just a whole pack by itself.
Yeah.
10 new subscribers, and you're going to get the chance to be entered in with all the other subscribers for a drawing.
Mm-hmm.
For all of Smarks' dupes.
For all of the dupes, which right now that stack of dupes is getting to be almost as big as my stack of regulars. And then my prismatic, my hollow varsity blonde.
Now, are you talking dupes of the same style and everything?
Yes. So there are some golds in the dupe pile. There is at least one upper deck canvas in the dupe pile. If that Matt Sydal one is a dupe, which I think it is, it will go also in the dupe pile.
But your varsity blondes, for example, you had 2 of those tonight.
Mm-hmm. But since one of them's the hollow, that one goes in my pack, my stack. A Serena Deeb. This is the last pack, by the way. A All Ego Ethan Page.
That's a new one, isn't it?
I don't know. I'll have to find out. A Mark
That's
Henry.
good.
A Dante Martin.
I think that's a new one for you.
I think it is. I am 90% certain this one is a new one.
Ricky Stocks. Former FTW champion.
A debut date Malachi Black. What's bound to be your favorite card?
Oh,
A
geez.
Gold Butcher.
Even if it's not a dupe, that might go in your dupe pile.
And an Upper Deck Canvas Jade Cargill, which, I'm going to be honest with you, I think is actually a dupe.
You have an upper deck canvas of her?
I'm going to check really quickly to be certain, but I was pretty sure that one of my Upper Deck canvases already was Jade Cargill. Yep. So this Upper Deck canvas goes in the dupe pile. So we get 10 subscribers. One of y'all is going to win that duplicate card. As well as the rest of the stack of duplicates.
10 more. 10 additional. Correct? 10 additional subscribers.
10 new subscribers. New.
In January, all of those in January?
The contest is going to go until I say it's done.
That's fair.
So, without sorting through all of the cards that I just unpacked, this is your stack of duplicates as it stands right now.
So you have the chance to win as a subscriber.
But there's a fair chunk of these that are also duplicates that'll go in that pile.
Life changer. That's a whole box worth of cards.
I'm gonna also point out
Likely
again,
not duplicates.
yeah, there are a few duplicates in the duplicates, but
Yeah, but likely not nearly as many as if you bought your own box.
yep. But I'll also point out that if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can throw a subscription our way for free. Doesn't even cost you anything to enter that.
Wait, how much is that though?
It's free.
But what's it cost?
$0.
Okay, but there's got to be a monetary value to that.
The monetary value is whatever you pay for your Amazon Prime subscription, plus $0 for the subscription to us.
And it's worth $4.99.
Yep,
So that's
and it's $0.
It costs you nothing if you just use your Amazon Prime.
In fact, you could use the money you save by saving 60% on your Factor subscription by using my link or going to factor75.com and use the code GOFACTOR13652 for 60% off your first box.
Meaning if that first box is worth $100, the eight meal pack is, you could give us some, I don't know, 1 year's worth of subscription just off the saving from Factor.
From one box.
Amazing. For $1.
One box.
For $1. And be entered in for $30 worth of cards.
Yeah. Maybe more. I don't know what the value on these upper deck canvases are, but they can't be.
$30 worth of cards that you've had the chance to see because Smarks opens them on screen. What? I noticed you haven't had a Bobby Fish yet. How much?
Yeah, I have not. I just saw something come across Twitter, and now I have to check something.
Did the sale complete while we were talking?
No, but someone said something might have happened, and tonight was NXT New Year's Evil. Which featured number one contenders match for the NXT North American title. Dijak versus Tony D'Angelo.
Dijak won.
Dijak gets his number one contender's spot, so he will earn an NXT North American Championship match. The Creed brothers were supposed to have a match versus Indus Sher, which of course is Veer Mahan and Sangha. But Veer Mahan was not able to compete. And so what was going to happen? And Jinder Mahal showed up to
Ginger.
team up with Sangha and beat up on Creed brothers. Number one contenders gauntlet, Pretty Deadly, went against three mystery opponents. And they're a bunch of the fuck are they guys? So I don't know. But Gallus was the one who ended up winning it, so they get that. NXT Championship match, Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller. Who do you think won?
Oh, Braun Breaker.
Technically, yes. The second rope broke as Waller stood on it, causing him to fall to the floor and get counted out. So Braun Breaker got the win by count out. Wah, wah.
Take the title off of him so you can put him on the main roster.
Charlie Dempsey versus Hank Walker with Drew Gulak in his corner. Then they had Jinder Mahal versus Julius Creed.
Ginger Mahal.
Yep. And then the number one contender, women's 20-woman battle royal. Had Dolan and Jane got the victory to earn a triple threat NXT Women's Championship match at Vengeance Day. Okay. So the tweet that I saw did not seem to be accurate. Okay. That's fine.
So, are we running short tonight?
Well, I think we are running a bit short tonight.
You can guess the wrestler if you want. I'll fight.
Well, if you just want to do, let's do 2 rounds of guess the wrestler.
Okay.
2 rounds.
That's why JLB didn't show up tonight. He was scared.
Shaking in his boots.
In his boot haze. Did we freeze?
No, I'm trying to choose some. I'm trying to make sure I'm not choosing someone I've chose before. But I also want to make sure it is challenging. Okay. I don't think I've done either of these before. So, because of it being just you, we're going to do 2 rounds of 1 minute and then I give clues. So, first round of 1 minute starts now.
Male or female?
Male.
Wrestled in WWE?
Yes.
AEW?
No.
WCW?
No.
90s?
No.
2000s?
Yes.
20 teens?
Yes.
World title holder?
Yes.
WWE Championship?
It was a WWE title.
But that world title, okay.
It was a world title as well. I have to be careful because WWE does have a championship called the WWE Championship.
Yes.
And it was not
And
that.
this person has held both. Okay, they have not held both. Okay. So it's not Rey Mysterio because he only held the WWE Championship for a day. But he did hold it. So, above 6 foot?
At 6 foot. Final guess for this round.
Chris Benoit.
No. One more 1 minute round starting now.
Long or short hair?
Long.
You said wrestling in the 20 teens as well. Okay. always had long hair?
Mostly always has long hair.
Currently wrestling.
Yes.
Edge?
No.
Been part of a faction.
Yes.
A faction in the 20 teens.
Wouldn't call anything in the 20 teens a faction.
Okay. So in the 2010s, he was in a faction. Feuded with Randy Orton.
I'm sure he did. I don't.
Feuded with Cena.
I am also sure he did. Final guess for that round.
Jeez. Long hair. Not been a WWE champion. Has been either Universal or World Champion. Bryan Danielson.
No.
Bryan. Oh, no, that was an AEW. Never mind. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go down some clues. Has won a Slammy Award twice. Once for Match of the Year and once for Social Champion.
RVD.
No. He is a Triple Crown champion.
What's that mean?
That means he has won 3 of the major championships in WWE.
So IC, World, and
But he's not a Grand Slam champion.
he hasn't had both the top championships. Unfortunately, Jinder Mahal has been the WWE champion. What was it? It said Jinder. I got nothing still.
Rolling Stone rated him Best Wrestler of the Year in 2014.
Man, the long hair is messing me up. I know Seth has had both. And Socials champion. Kofi?
No. He is a previous Money in the Bank winner. A one-time SmackDown Tag Team Champion and a 2-time Raw Tag Team Champion.
I'm going to make an assumption that the title you're saying that he had was not necessarily the World Championship, but it might have been an ECW Championship.
Nope.
That's the only reason I'm changing this. And I'm going to say John Morrison.
No. To clarify, he has had the World Heavyweight Championship twice.
How am I missing this?
He also has been the NXT champion, the United States champion twice, and the IC champion 6 times.
I should know this then, whomever it is. My, I mean, those are. Andrade? No, he's in AEW. That doesn't work. It was back in the 2010s too. Or 2000s. Bray Wyatt?
No.
I know that's not right.
He signed his original contract with WWE in 2004, where he was then assigned to Ohio Valley Wrestling. He was called up to the main roster and made his debut September 19th, 2005.
And he's been an NXT champion.
Yes.
Why am I drawing an absolute blank? Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler.
I should have had that a long time ago.
I am surprised it took you so long. I was sitting here trying to dance around how do I come up with a clue for the Spirit Squad without specifically
hard
saying
part
the
is
Spirit Squad.
Is the hard part legitimately? I mean, you threw me a new curveball when you said, been the NXT champion. Like you threw an extra curveball when I was maybe narrowing it down.
Yeah, that one was a confusing one because he was the NXT champion in
Recently.
2021?
Where was he suddenly in a feud with the Bloodline last night? That was weird. Last night's Raw was
2022. So last year he was the NXT champion. Okay.
Give it to me again.
First round for this one starts now.
Male or female?
Male.
WWE?
Yes.
AEW?
No.
WCW?
No.
Impact?
No.
TNA. Yeah. 2000s?
Not in a major.
90s?
No.
20 teens?
Yes.
Current?
Yes.
Tall? Over 6 foot?
No.
Under 6 foot?
Yes.
Has held gold in WWE?
Gold as in a championship? Yes.
Yes. Was it tag titles?
No.
Was it IC title?
Yes.
And were they a U.S. title winner?
Yes. Final guess for this round?
Walter.
No. Round 2 starts.
1 minute makes it tough, man.
Yeah. 1 minute does. Round 2 starts now.
But they're not tall. Never mind. Lucha or Joshi style performer.
Yes.
50-doos and high speed. Okay. Were they in NXT?
Yes.
Were they an NXT champion?
Not world.
Okay. And they're relatively short. Bald?
Yes.
Ricochet.
Correct. Got it.
I knew I was getting close when you said flippy doos. I was like, okay, I think I got my.
I had to be a caveat with the NXT champion because he was the North American champion, but not the world.
Correct. Homeboy, man, there are some people, and I realize there's only enough championships that only certain people are going to actually ever win them. I realize the Hacksaw Jim Duggins don't win the titles. I realize the Marty Jannettis don't. God bless.
Thank
I
goodness.
realize the Billy Guns and the guys that are incredibly talented that just aren't going to win the titles. Ricochet, I think, is in the category of talented enough to have the title. If Kofi did, Ricochet should. And both of them are very talented.
Well, that's the problem with, frankly, the Land of the Giants concept that WWE likes to go with.
Well, the other piece to Ricochet is he doesn't cut a great promo. He sounds a little bit more like a motivational speaker than a promo artist. But I think his in-ring work makes up for it.
But anywho's, did I mention that you can save 60% off your first box of Factor if you use my link or go to gofactor75.com and use the code Factor SE13652 for 60% off your first box?
Didn't hear it. Tell me more.
No. You can save 60% off your first box of Factor if you use my link or go to go.factor75.com and use the code Factor SE13652 for 60% off your first box.
Thank you. They have lots of different meal plans there.
They do. They're delicious.
And if you guys didn't hear it before, just rewatch the video. Smarts even showed you how to order.
I did. But on that note, I think it's time to just close the book on this today.
Yeah.
We had fun, but they're always a little bit shorter when JLB's not here because we don't have him changing his challenge 30 times. So yeah, I want you to book to no, instead what I want you to do is
So take these. No, that'd be more me. Take these Factor meals and assign them to a wrestler.
we should have done that.
That might be a warning for next week.
But anyways, on that note, I want to remind people to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, leave a comment, a positive comment below. Say something nice about it because it really helps the algorithm. Gets the show recommended to other people so that they can see it. But like, comment, share, subscribe. You can support us by going to Factor and using that code to get 60% off your first box. It's a great way to support us there with some great food. Or you can go to our merch store, pick up some merch. You can support us by subscribing to the show. Even if you've got Amazon Prime subscription, get it free. That's a good way to do it there. All these great ways to support us. You can also support us just by following us. You can follow me on pretty much all the socials at Raw and Order WBU, like it says right down there. That's Twitter, that's TikTok, that's Instagram, pretty much any of the places except for Facebook, where I had to do at Pissant Podcast because reasons. You can follow DA Fabe at
Hold on. DA Vincent Kayfabe.
right there on Twitter. And the JLB stuff is going to be in the doobly-doos, so you can follow him there. But on that note, we are going to go ahead and close the book on the Fantasy Booking Unit. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon.
Bye, Factor.